With the second pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select Chase Young, defensive end, Ohio State.
But you know, as they say, hail to the Redskins. Let's roll, man. Let's go.
You know, the Sean Taylor topic has been hot and heavy this week. I did two videos, one pertaining to his jersey and should it be retired. And, you know, that conversation, the whole retirement number conversation came up. And, you know, I want to start the show there before we get into me setting the table and getting to any super chats that we may have to start the show off. I want to start the show off there, talking about the whole retirement number discussion, because here's my thought process on this. If you just read, because I know a lot of you, and I read through your comments on the Sean Taylor video, some of you were like, really don't care if they retire his jersey, just don't let anybody wear it. And that sounds simple, but then you have a Dwayne Haskins type situation where you get a young first round pick that doesn't know the history of the franchise. All he knows is that since he was a little kid, he's been wearing XYZ number. And let's just go with the Dwayne Haskins narrative and storyline, where he's been wearing 7 since he can remember. When you see the picture of him as a little kid in the Ohio State jersey, when he said, hey, I want to play at Ohio State someday, he had on a number 7 jersey. Of course, he played in high school. He wore the 7 jersey. He played at Ohio State. He wore the 7 jersey. So all he had a necklace before he was even drafted that had the number 7 on it. So this is a number that he's been ingrained with throughout his entire life. He gets to the NFL, it's not retired, so now he thinks it's available, even though it's one of those protected numbers that the Redskins have. So you find yourself in this quandary where if the organization had some balls, they would have told Dwayne, sorry, dude, it's not retired, but it's protected. No one's worn it since Joe Theismann wore it. I think back in 1986 was the last time Theismann donned the number 7, and no one's worn it since then. Sorry, dude, you can't have it. But instead, they said, oh, go ask Joe. You know, they left it up to Joe Theismann. And, you know, Joe, again, didn't want to seem like a jerk or an asshole. So, you know, he said in his passive-aggressive way, go get your own jersey. Go forge your own path and legacy with your own uni by saying, hey, you know, you can go out and get your own number, and I think you should forge your own legacy with your own number. And Dwayne wasn't trying to hear that. It went in one ear, out the other. And so, ultimately, Joe Theismann was put in a tough spot. Dwayne wasn't going to back down. He wanted the number 7. He ultimately went to Joe because the team put it in Joe's lap to make the decision. Joe wasn't going to say no. And ultimately, Dwayne Haskins is now wearing the number 7, and he hadn't even taken a snap in this league yet. Remember, Joe Theismann won us a Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl in our franchise's history. Keep that in mind. And don't forget, he was a league MVP the year that we went back to the Super Bowl and lost to the Raiders. So Joe Theismann, for as short as his career was as a Redskins starting quarterback, or as short as it seemed, he had a number that he forged a legacy in, and it shouldn't have been given out. But when you don't retire jerseys, you leave it to chance. Okay? So now maybe it'll be a little bit different with Sean Taylor's 21. You know, and maybe it'll be a little bit different when someone comes in and they want 44 and it's not happening. Or if somebody wants 28 and that's not happening. But still, why even leave that discussion open? Don't leave that door ajar. Shut it. Slam it shut. All right? So if it's retired, if you're not going to let anybody wear it, why not just retire it and take that entire conversation off the table? I don't care that you've been wearing 28 for the last 15 years of your life, going all the way back to Pop Warner. I don't care. I don't care that you have a big necklace in the car that you're driving outside has a license plate that says 28 on it. I don't care. You're not getting 28 because it's retired. We don't even have anything to talk about. Take it off the table. All right. So, and I get it. There's only 99 jerseys. I understand that. Guess what? Only 50 some odd guys are going to make your football team. So you're not going to run out of jerseys if you retire 7 or 8 numbers, okay? You're not going to run. There's still 91 other numbers out there that they can have at, all right? And 2 of them, nobody was really going to go after anyway. Not many 33s walking around the NFL and not many 49s. And I'm telling you right now, not many guys want 44 either. So it's not like you're in the new young breed of receivers. Most of these guys are in the teens. They're not looking to wear 80 anymore. Remember when Jerry Rice was cool and everybody wanted to be 80 and Michael Irvin was cool and everybody wanted to wear 88? Nobody's doing that anymore. Everybody wants to wear 11 or 13 or 17. That's the cool chic thing to do now. So you can retire 21, 28. You can retire 44. All right. You can retire some of these jersey numbers, 81, and it not even be a discussion that we have to even have. I don't understand why you don't just take that discussion off the table by just retiring those jersey numbers so that someone can't come into the league that is unaware of the history behind that jersey, because as we're all Redskins fans and some of us go back a little bit further than others, but not everybody is aware of what 28 means. Not every Redskin fan or every player coming up through the ranks is aware of what the number 21 stands for. All right, it's a whole new generation coming up that didn't see Sean Taylor, have no idea. If they haven't watched YouTube clips of him, they have no idea who Sean Taylor is. But they know the 21 isn't retired, so can I have it? No, you can't have it. There's a reason why you can't have it. How about you just take it off the table? So I wanted to start the show with that because I thought that was an interesting topic that we've talked about before, but I'm just at the point now where I'm like, just retire the numbers already. Like, why are we leaving it to chance? That whole Joe Theismann situation, which I'm not saying Joe should have had his number retired. If you ask me, I don't think Joe Theismann's number 7 jersey needed to be retired. That's not one of the jerseys that I would retire if I were the Redskins. Okay, there are certain numbers that I think there's not really much of a discussion to be had, but then there's some numbers worth, debating. I think Joe's one of those numbers you can debate. And if it's a debatable number, then go ahead and let somebody else wear it. But there are certain numbers that are just off limits. And if you're going to have them be off limits, just go ahead and retire. All right, let's go ahead and retire those jersey numbers and don't put a guy in an awkward spot where they have to tell somebody, nah, bro, that's my number. I'm sorry. I can't let you wear it. So got another super chat. This one from my man BD. As always, Barrett Downing, thank you for the super chat and the support. My man BD writes, I feel like if it's protected, might as well retire. Exactly, Barrett. I just don't understand that concept of, well, we'll just leave it just in case. For what? What are you leaving it just in case for? Like, I get it. It's only 99 numbers and there's a select few, but look, specifically at the receiver position and at the running back position, there are a number, because running backs can go all the way from 20 all the way to 49. So that's a lot of numbers for only like 4 or 5 guys that are going to be on your roster. Obviously, they've got to share that same space with defensive backs. But again, you might keep 5 or 6 DBs on your roster. Let's just go with the concept that you keep 7. 5 corners and 2, let's go with the concept in the frame of mind that totally, altogether, you keep 9 defensive backs, 4 safeties, 5 corners, and you keep 5 backs. That's the most you're probably going to keep. Maybe you add in a 5th safety, but more likely than not, 5 corners, 4 safeties, and 4 backs. But we'll go with 5 running backs. So that's a total of 14 players. 14 players picking between 39 numbers, essentially, 29 numbers from 20 to 49. Now, let's say you take 4 or 5 of those out of the equation. All right, you still got 24 or 25 numbers available for 13 players. There's plenty of numbers to go around. All right. And then at the receiver position, same deal. You're keeping 6 at most, more likely than not. Probably more so 5, but 6 on the high side. I don't think I've ever seen a team keep 7 receivers. I'm not saying it's impossible, but that doesn't matter. You've got from 10 all the way to 19. So that's 10 jerseys right there. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Because, you get into that habit of thinking it's only 9, but you got to count 10 as well. So that's 10 jerseys. And then you get from 80 to 89. It's another 10 jerseys. That's 20 jerseys that you can select from, and you got to share that with the tight ends. Then you're going to keep in 4 at most tight ends. All right, so that's 10 players at most that you're keeping at those two positions in particular. And so if you take out of those 20 jersey numbers, let's just say you take out 4 of those. You got 16 jersey numbers to pick from 10 guys. That's plenty of jerseys to go around. So to me, what are you saving numbers for? All right. If they're protected, which means no one else is supposed to be able to wear it, just go ahead and retire it. That to me just makes the most sense. But thank you for the super chat, Barrett Downing. I am 100% with you on that notion.
Louie.